The US just flipped the food pyramid upside down. Protein, dairy, and healthy fats are now at the top, alongside vegetables and fruits. Whole grains, they've been pushed all the way to the bottom. Some people are celebrating, and others are absolutely furious. The carnivore crowd thinks they've won. Vegans are calling it a meat industry takeover. So what's the actual truth? Did they get it right? Here is my honest take. They've got a lot right, but they've missed some crucial things. Those things they've actually missed are the most important parts. Today, I'm going to break down what the new guidelines got right and what they got wrong, and what the research actually shows the perfect diet looks like. So, let's get into it. I'm James. I run BTX, a London-based gym, and have a clinical nutrition degree from King's College London, and I'm a third dan black belt under Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Roger Gracie. I've spent over 10 years helping people transform their bodies and optimize their health. Most important thing you understand, I'm not here to push an agenda. I'm here to show you what the large-scale human studies actually say. So let's start with what the new food pyramid got right. And there's plenty there. Credit where it's due. The new guidelines actually nailed several things. So, number one, protein is at the top. Finally, for decades we were told to fill up on grains and go easy on meat. Now protein is front and center. Health Secretary RFK Jr. said they're ending the war on saturated fats. And while that's a bit dramatic, the protein emphasis is backed by solid research. The new guidelines and science shows recommends 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilo body weight. That's significantly higher than the old RDA of 0.8 grams. This matters because maintaining muscle mass as you age is one of the most powerful longevity tools we have. Number two, whole foods over processed foods. And this is my favorite one. The guidelines specifically called out ultra-processed foods. Quote, avoid highly processed, packaged, prepared, ready-to-eat foods. This is fantastic. I've been waiting for this for ages. The government is finally admitting what the research has shown for years. Number three, full-fat dairy is back. For decades, we're told to drink skim milk and avoid cheese. Now, full-fat dairy is actually encouraged. Dr. Dariush from Tufts University has pointed out that both low-fat and full-fat dairy are linked to lower cardiovascular risk. The content doesn't seem to make a big difference as long as it's in whole food form. Number four, real fats, not seed oils. The guidelines recommend olive oil, butter, and even beef tallow over industrial seed oils. This aligns with what we know about traditional diets and inflammation. So far, so good, right? But here's where they've dropped the ball. I was so happy until now. The new food pyramid has some major blind spots. And honestly, these are things that matter most for long-term health. Blind spot number one, there's no mention of gut health, which is absolute madness. This is massive. The gut microbiome influences everything: immunity, inflammation, mental health, and metabolism. And the guidelines barely even touch on it or mention it. No mention of fiber diversity, no mention of feeding of beneficial bacteria, absolutely nothing. Blind spot number two, fermented foods are nowhere. Stanford researchers found that just a 10-week study on fermented foods, giving fermented foods decreased by 19 inflammatory markers. This is one of those powerful dietary interventions we have, and it's completely absent from the new guidelines. Absolute madness. Blind spot number three, they don't explain the carnivore trap. A lot of people are going to look at the pyramid, protein at the top, grain at the bottom, and think carnivore was right all the time. No, but that's dangerous. This is really important, so let me explain. Please listen. Let's explain everything. This is the part that's going to upset the carnivore community, but please hear me out because this is crucial. A lot of people go carnivore and feel amazing. I'm not denying that. Bloating disappears, energy goes up, digestive problems completely gone. I'm not dismissing that. This is definitely real. I'll explain the reason behind this. But here's what's actually happening. When you have dysbiosis, an imbalance in your gut bacteria, you don't have enough healthy bacteria to ferment fiber properly. So every time you eat fiber, the wrong bacteria go crazy: gas, bloating, and discomfort. So when you remove all the fiber, of course, you feel better. You've removed what's causing the symptoms. But here is the problem that nobody talks about. Fiber is the primary source of your good bacteria. So when you stop eating these fibers, they don't just go to sleep, they die off. Your microbiome becomes less diverse. Your ability to digest fiber gets worse. 2. So let's say you're into carnivore, you try eating some vegetables again. Here's what happens, right? It's even worse than before, and you think, see, plants are the problem. I should have cut them out even earlier. No, you've just killed off the good bacteria that would have helped you digest them. The solution isn't to avoid fiber forever. The solution is to heal your gut and rebuild those bacterial populations. So the new pyramid got protein and whole foods right, but here's what they should have added. The things the research shows actually matter for long-term health, and that's what we're here for. What's missing? Number 1, optimal protein targets. Like we said, the guidelines say 1.2 to 1.6 per kilo, that's good, but the research actually supports higher, especially if you're training. A massive meta-analysis of 74 studies found that protein intakes 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilo support muscle maintenance and growth. Can you get this from plants? Technically, yes, but practically, it's very, very difficult. Plant proteins are incomplete. You have to combine them together like rice and beans, which together form a complete protein. But to hit 2 grams per kilo from lentils alone, you'll need over 1,800 calories just from lentils before eating anything else. Animal protein is just more efficient. Complete amino acids, fewer calories, and better absorption. What's missing, number 2, remember, was 30 plants per week. This should have been in the pyramid. The American Gut Project, one of the largest microbiome studies ever, found that people who ate 30 or more different plant foods per week had significantly more diverse gut microbiomes. And here's the thing, this doesn't mean 30 vegetables. This includes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, herbs, spices, and even dark chocolate and coffee count. Different plants feed different bacteria. More diversity equals a healthier gut ecosystem. And what's missing? 3 is the fermented foods we spoke about. This is the biggest oversight. Stanford researchers found that 6 servings of fermented foods daily for just 10 weeks increased gut diversity and decreased 19 different inflammatory markers. Kefir, yogurt, sauerkraut, kombucha, all stuff I love. Add a small portion of this to your diet every single day. This is one of the most powerful changes you can make, and it's nowhere in the new guidelines, and people aren't talking about it enough. Now, one thing the new guidelines did get right was calling out processed foods. Dr. Kevin Hall at the NIH did the first randomized controlled trial on ultra-processed food. Same people, same available calories and nutrients, just different processing levels. Everything was kept the same. On the ultra-processed diet, people ate 500 extra calories per day and gained weight. On the whole foods diet, they lost weight. This isn't correlation, it's causation. The new US dietary guidelines specifically say to avoid highly processed, packaged, prepared, ready-to-eat foods. This is the one thing they got absolutely right. And as I said before, I love it. And before you think diet drinks are a free pass, sorry to tell you this, research shows artificial sweeteners, especially sucralose and saccharin, damage your gut microbiome and may impair glucose tolerance. The emulsifiers in processed food give you the same problem. If you want a healthy gut, ultra-processed foods have to go. Not reduce, go. Maybe every so often, but try and cut them out. So let's bring this all together. In conclusion, the new food pyramid got several things right. Protein at the top, whole foods emphasis, full fat dairy, and calling out processed foods. But it missed the crucial gut health components that the research shows matters the most. So what's the actual perfect diet? Putting it all together. It's not carnivore, it's not vegan, it's not keto. We are omnivores. Some people call us aminovores, designed to prioritize protein while getting diverse nutrients from both animal and plant sources. Here's what the food pyramid should look like. Protein at every single meal, 1.6 to 2 grams per kilo per day, 30 or more different plants per week, fermented foods daily, get that kimchi and kefir in, full fat dairy if you tolerate it, whole food carbs to fuel your training if you're an athlete or train hard, and eliminate ultra-processed foods. The US got us 70% of the way there. Now you know the other 30%. Eat real food, prioritize protein, feed your gut bacteria, and train hard. That is the perfect diet. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe if you want more evidence-based content on nutrition and body transformation. I've linked the full article in the description with all the research references. I know a lot of you guys like that. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the new food pyramid? Did they get it right or wrong? I read every single comment myself and I respond myself, and see you in the next one.